Now this is our cellar.
Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Oh yeah, this is it. Brick, barrels, beautiful wine cellar. Now this is the romance right here. The romance of wine right here. Absolutely fantastic.
We used to do all of our barrel aging here, but we've gotten too large. But this is the place in the building where the temperature almost never varies. And because of that, it's a wonderful place to do the barrel aging.
Got the stabilization.
And also keep samples of previous bottlings we want to retain for one reason or another.
What's the oldest bottle of wine you have down here, Butch?
Oh, it's probably something in the late 80s. This is one that's probably about a 1988 or 89 Muscadine.
Excellent. And so you told me, which I never knew before, that the Muscadine, which is a sweet wine, the older it gets, the less that sweetness is apparent.
The apparent sweetness goes away.
Really?
Pretty much, and it really changes dramatically in taste. But most people don't let it lay around that long.
Which is good for you.
Our production is pretty much guaranteed every year. We have about 18,000 people on a waiting list that wait for their opportunity to get their Muscadine.
So
it's allocated out each year.
Wonderful. That means the wine industry in Tennessee is thriving.
Oh, yes, yes.
That's a good thing. All right, let's go this way.
All righty.
Oh, now this one's different. Which one is this one now?
That's a Chardonnay.
That's the Chardonnay.
It's a lightly oaked. It's not a heavily oaked Chardonnay.
Very lightly oaked.
It's got some fruit.
Much fruitier. See, the part of Chardonnay I don't like is the heavy oak, especially, you know, from other states, shall remain nameless. They oak them too much for me. That's all I can taste. Very fruity, very nice.
The Chardonnay grape's got a nice fruit in it. It's a shame to get rid of it.
Absolutely. That's delicious.
And this is our Riesling. We
yes.
live in a German community here. We're very close to Allert, and we have an excellent Riesling.
I think the first wine I ever tasted in my life back home in Ireland as a very young fella was Blue Nun.
Okay. Blue Nun Riesling or Blue Nun Concord?
No, Riesling. Yeah. See, it's got that little sweetness and that. It's almost a syrupy quality to it.
Yep.
Very good. That's very good. Very good indeed.
I should have let you have this first, but that's all right. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh yeah. now we're into the muscle wines. So this is a Cab Sav, huh? From Tennessee. It's got a great nose. So you were telling me earlier about the tannins and the development of the tannins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Run that by me one more time.
Well, the Cabernets especially are pretty tannic, and if you try to rush them to the front, they back. So they need some time, and our cabs have about 2 years in the tank, a year in the oak, and then another year in the bottle. So they're usually 4 years old before they see the front.
So the theory then being, it's the tannins that give it all that flavor, but they also give it that unpleasantness that you want to get rid of. Right. So by aging them the way you do, you strike that balance. You retain the flavor, but you get rid of that harshness that you...
Yeah, the oak does pretty much the smoothing up, the real bad harshness. The oak has an affinity for the tannins in the wine, really, and the wine has an affinity for the tannins in the oak, so they trade out.
All right, if you had to pick one bottle, right now I'm telling you, this one, this is a real winner. Yeah. Excellent. Very, very nice. And it's smooth.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
that was really great. I mean, really great. What year is that wine?
Oh, well, we don't do a vintage labeling, but that's probably an 05, I were guessing.
Well, that's just terrific. Yeah, that's a knockout, that one. I don't know, it just strikes me as something that's got to be very difficult to learn, you know, just sort of to wander in and start doing it well. How did you do that?
I don't know how well we did it at first, but I've 10 years in the process, and we've done a lot of learning over the 10 years. And
well, I'll tell you,
Tim, our winemaker, and is a wonderful person, and he and I can collaborate on them and probably make better wines by that than we would if it was just one of us doing it.
Well, I tell you, These wines are absolutely superlative. And I'm going to be very honest with you. When the producer first told me I was coming out here and we're going to go to Tennessee to a winery, but I'm telling you, I'm very impressed. I really am very impressed. The quality of these wines is just, it's blowing me away. They're terrific, absolutely terrific. And what is the one I'm about to imbibe in now?
That's Highland Red. That's the one you asked about earlier out by the vineyard. It's got the youthful charm.
Oh yes, this is the
Lower
one.
on the tannins.
This is reminiscent now in Europe. They have a big, every year the first wine out is the Nouvelle Beaujolais. Everybody goes, it's a very young wine. It doesn't have any aging process or anything like that. It's what we call a really good gulping wine. At least that's what we call it back home. Now, this is a similar wine to that, where it doesn't have that long aging process.
It's not been oaked.
And it's no oak barrel, nothing. It's just, it goes into the...
It's just about a year in the making.
And that's it. So now it's ready to drink. So here we go, bottoms up. It's great. Great. Now this is better than the Nouvelle Beaujolais that I drink when I go to Europe. It's better than that.
It's got some Merlot in it. It's got a little bit of tannins. But
really
it's
good.
Two French-American hybrids. It's got Foch and Chamberson, which are both grown in Tennessee.
See? Tennessee. So when everybody is complaining about how hot it gets and how much we're getting too much sunshine, here's the result.
Be proud for the heat. Hope the humidity's down.
That is a terrific dinner wine right there.